Hi, Mike from Mike's Carburetor Parts. I'm working on a BBD 2-barrel carburetor, and we're rebuilding it. I did part one, which was disassemble it. Now we're going to put it back together, and we'll get started here in just a second.
I rebuilt my carburetor, but it's still flooding. Do you know what's wrong?
I don't know. Maybe you should have bought your parts at Mike's Carburetor Parts.
Okay, the first thing you want to do is we want to blow out all the small passages. I know you probably soak this thing in some chem cleaner or something, and but now we want to make sure that all the little passages are clear. So we'll take this first and blow into here. Be sure to wear your face mask, and maybe keep a rag nearby so that you can so it doesn't spray back on you. I've had this blow in my eyes, and so there you can see it spray out. That's through the idle mixture holes, so I know they're clear. And okay, I see the transition slots I can see through them, so they're clear, no problem. So we'll get each one. Okay, that's a vacuum, goes right through here. It's another good way to figure out where these things are going, the passages. Okay, so here we got, let's see, we got these two little ones here. Those are easy, went right through. This is where the check ball goes. And this is the exhaust. I'm not seeing it go through so good. Let's see. No. Nope. So there's something wrong with this. It should go all the way through. Not all of them go through, so you're going to have to follow the passages sometimes. See there? Okay. It actually came out of the main, where the jets go, main jets. Alright. So there we go on the top part. Well, here's one. Okay, went through just fine. I like to use the carb cleaner because at the same time it helps clean anything that's in there. So, alright, oh, and this is important. All these little passages, you want to make sure that they all go through. Watch it blow out the other end, see? Okay. Anyhow, you get the idea. But be sure and do that. It'll save you a lot of pain and agony. People rebuild these things all the time, and then I get a message that it won't idle good, and this kind of stuff. And a lot of times it's just the thing is plugged up. So I was having trouble with this right here, the main discharge, and it wasn't coming through when I tried to flow test it here. It wasn't coming through down here, and I kept trying it, and lo and behold, what happened was the check ball come flying out of that hole. So somehow it got stuck in that hole, and now it's clear. Okay, the check ball should not go in that hole. It should go on the bottom of here, except on some 78s don't, but you'll have to look to see if there's a trough for it. Okay, so anyway, that's what I did. I finally got that clear, and that's something you need to do. You got to work on that stuff until it's clear, otherwise it's going to give you trouble. All right, so we had a phenolic type of spacer in here with it had 2 gaskets, and that's not necessary. Use the gasket out of the kit. It comes with black nitrate here, coated with black nitrate. That helps keep the leaks out, and it fits just like so. And you see the 2 holes here. You see it covers up most of this, but the holes is what matters. It allows the vacuum to go through, so you're good there. So when you look at gaskets and thinking it might not fit, that may not be the case. And it may not look exactly like the old gasket. So you have to look at those kind of things. So we're going to put this on, and goes this way. Like so. And let's see what happened to the screws right here. We're going to put these 2 screws in, but we're not going to tighten them. I'm going to have to remember to tighten them before we get done, but because we can't put these screws in yet. They go through the top, the float bowl, and throttle body. So get these in here, and okay. All right, so there's a start. So keep in mind that this will never go on an engine. It's just for show and tell. So the bowl's not perfect, but just want to show you how to get it back together. So we're putting the main jets in now. No reason to change your jets when you're rebuilding, unless you've got a problem with altitude. If you get over 5,000 feet, you'll have to reduce your jet size by 2 thousandths. And if you're going from 5,000 to say 1,000, you need to add 2 thousandths. Okay, so those are in there. Let's put the venturi together. First the check ball, and this is where the bigger check ball goes. And the gasket already put on here, venturi. We blew all these out, and so it's going to go in here like so, and uses these screws that are hollow inside. Don't replace them with something that's not hollow, or it won't work. That's how the gas feeds up through those screws. All right, so got the small check ball. It's going to go down there, right at the bottom, in the little trough. And you might take very gently, get yourself a drift punch and tap that check ball a couple of times really gently to help form a good trough in there so it seals. Same thing with the other one that we put in. Okay, and okay, we're going to put the float in. There's the pan. Tab points up. And keep the pin in. Okay. Slide it down like that. Get your needle and seat. Wipe your Viton tip off with some mineral spirits. Take the residue off. We're going to measure the float height. And mine happens to be a 1/4 inch, but check your spec sheet. It's different for different vehicles. And we're going to measure it from here down to the middle of the float. And we're going to measure both sides. It's got to be the same, 1/4 inch. If we have to adjust it, we're going to bend this. Don't bend the pontoons here, it'll break and cause them to leak. If you need to get one a different height, bend them right here. Okay, so that's adjusting the float level. We want the splash guard here, or baffle, goes in like so. That just keeps the gas from splashing all over the place when it comes into the float bowl. This is a retainer to keep the float down. Push it down in the slots like that until it seats. Make sure the float's not rubbing on the sides. And there you got that. Alright, so let's do this. Let's put in the vent. I'm going to wet it so it goes in there easy. Don't use oil. And we're going to take the pump. We're going to use some crocus cloth to smooth out the well in here. Gas has a lot less lubrication it used to, so you need to help it out a little bit so that the pump glides in there smoothly. Put some lithium grease, a little bit of lithium grease on here on the cup. Put the spring over it. Shove it in the hole. And I like to turn it so that the holes are kind of going that way. It'll help me when I put in the arm. Okay. Let's put our gasket on. Return spring for the power piston so we don't forget. This little piece right here, will go this way, just like so. Okay, push the pump up, slide this into the pump hole just like so. Let it go down and turn it so that the holes are this way now. Okay, that slot has to be this way. A lot going on here. That slot's right there. We're going to be putting a screw in there later. So it just sits in there now, and I do that now just to hold that pump so I don't have to fight it. And we're going to put the top on. We're going to watch the pump, make sure the cup doesn't roll. Okay, gently, don't force anything. And we're going to put one screw in it just to help hold the top down while I'm working on it. And there we go. We'll put the metering rod stuff together here next. Okay, let's put the metering rod assembly in there. Okay. Got to fish in the 2 metering rods and the piston all at the same time. And it has to be able to go way down there like that. Okay, so you fiddle around with the rods and stuff till they go in the hole, and then the spring goes on the other side of the metering rod. Okay, And I'm going to put this in. Need something to hold that down if I can. Alright, this is going in next with that slot that way. The 2 tabs go underneath these tabs. Just like that. Okay, got that started. Alright. Remember, this goes that with the way it's pointed. And now we got to get the other plastic piece in. Like so. Okay. Okay. Remember, the plastic tabs on this piece goes right underneath these tabs. So let's get a screw started over here before it all falls apart. This is the most difficult part of this carburetor, getting them back together, so just take your time, be patient. Okay, so there you go. See, good action. That's what you want to see. Okay, all the way. All right, so let's go ahead and put in the auxiliary pump rod like this, and goes down into hole right there, just like so. And we'll take us a clip, and stick one of the legs in the hole, through the hole, like so. Okay, well, there's that. That's the action you want to see. Okay, now next thing we'll put on is this other rod here. Let's see, that goes down this way. So we'll turn this fast idle up. This is a fast idle cam here, and we're going to turn this way down. It's got a little tit on it, so you got to get that tit lined up like so until it goes in. And then you push it up like that, and then you can take another little clip. Plenty of them comes in this kit, and the same thing, stick one of the legs through the hole. I'll also use a cotter pin if you have one handy. Okay, then let's see. Then let's get the choke housing on. Now I got a little gasket I put on here that comes in the kit, and I put a little grease on it to keep it there. And it's for the vacuum. There's a vacuum hole right here, and the vacuum hole, that vacuum is for the pull down right here. One screw there, and you got one screw inside here. Watch that little round gasket doesn't get misplaced, or you'll end up with a vacuum leak. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to put on the pull-off. There's the pull-off. And let's put the vacuum line on here. I'm going to test this pull-off, suck on this tube, and then hold it. And as long as you got some vacuum on this line, this should pull in and stay in. If not, replace it. Okay, so this one, let's see, this one will go. Yeah, let's see if I remember right now. So it has to go in. I hate the rods on this carburetor, as they're just way too complicated. Okay, this will end up going up like this. And this will go down. Okay, so first let's put this in. Now it's another one of those deals where it's got the tit on it, so we got to turn it until it goes in the hole, like so. Let's twist a little bit so have it look like that. And then take this. Now we already put this rod in. And stick it through the hole there, through the slot. Just like so. And then we got this little screw that goes in here. And you got to get this so it slides over that. It's kind of a rectangular. There you go, right there. Got to go all the way in. There we go. Okay, so we got this part. So just to show you this, when this pulls out, when the choke is closed and the pull off is pulled out like this, and you stomp on it, it's just gonna keep that open a little, crack open a little bit, so you don't choke it out. All right, let's get this back in here, and this one's a little bit of a problem. You got to fish it in through that hole to just get it just right. Take this out. Maybe that'll help. I got loosened up there. Well, try something else. Let's take this screw back out. That's what I hate about this linkage. It all goes together, but you can't get it there. Okay, got that back out. All right. Get off there. Okay. So let's get this back here. So we just want to get through that hole. There we go. All right. Now we put this back on. Just like so. There we go. That works. Okay, well, that's what it looks like. Bend this back over and bent it. Okay, that's going over. All right, you want any binding. Okay, so let's put the idle mixture screws in. You want to take a look at them and make sure that they don't have a ridge in them from somebody putting them too tight. Make sure those screws are tight. Alright, so we're going to run these screws down until they until they bottom out gently, like that. And then turn them out about a turn and a half. Same thing on this side. That's a starting point. You'll have to, when you put it on the car and you get the car up to operating temperature, put a vacuum meter on the manifold somewhere and adjust these in and out one at a time, a little bit at a time on each one until you get a nice smooth vacuum. If you turn them all the way in and it still runs, you did something wrong. Okay, turn out a turn and a half or so, and there we go. Oops, I do forget to put a part here. You running around loose. Oops. Okay, again you put one leg in there. There we go. So the next thing we're going to do is adjust the metering rods. And let me refer to my sheet here so I make sure I get it right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Alright, so first thing we want to do is turn the idle screw all the way out. That would be either one of these, actually. Turn that out. What we want to make sure is that the throttle valves are closed all the way. So we'll just unscrew that so it's not holding the valves. The valves are closed. Can't see anything around them. Okay, that's the step one. The next step is to loosen this screw right here. Okay, loosen that a little bit. See how it moved? Alright. Then we're going to depress the vacuum piston to the bottom and hold it in the down position So push it down all the way until it bottoms. And well, we're applying a little bit of down pressure on this right here till lifter arm contacts the piston plate. That's this right here. So you want those tabs to hit it, so make sure they're touching. Push that all the way down, make sure that's touching like that, and hold it. Tighten this back up, and voila, and there you go. We got, there we go, that's what we're looking for. Okay, you may have to do that 2 or 3 times like I did. That's the way it is. Okay, so that's adjusted. Okay, I'm going to adjust the accelerator pump now, and on my spec sheet it shows a 1/2 inch. It's different for different vehicles, so be sure to check your spec sheet. And what we're doing, we're measuring from the top of the stem of the accelerator pump down to the top. Okay, right here. So I'm going to use this one to measure a 1/2 inch. I got this out a 1/2 inch. And the first thing you do is adjust the stop screw. That's this one right here. And what you want is the throttle shaft's closed. And you want to turn this back out. So make sure the throttle plates are all the way closed. Okay, so there's touching. Alright, so you turn in just until it touches. Then do 2 full turns. Get the 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2. Okay, so now we got 2 turns. I can see the, okay, 2 turns, and we're going to loosen this screw up. Okay, and I'm going to lift this up right here, this plastic piece that's holding the accelerator pump. Try and do this so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to do this until it's right up to a 1/2 inch. Right. All right. Got to turn it so I can see it. Okay, right there. Tighten it down. And that's it for the accelerator pump adjustment. Okay, now I'm going to do the fast idle cam adjustment. And what you do here is you want the fast idle cam here and the idle screw here to be on the second tab, second bump right here. Excuse me. And you want this turned in just until it touches it. And then you hold your choke in. Oops, got off of it. Okay. And you hold your choke in, and you want to measure the distance between here and the valve. And mine, it's 3/32. It varies for different cars. Mine is okay. 3/32, 7/64, mostly 3/32. So you measure that. If you need to adjust it, you do it by bending this arm. So if you need to make it in closer, bend it right here. Just bend a little bit. Bend it right here just a bit. And if you need it farther out, then straighten it just a little bit. But that's all you got to do. Pretty simple adjustment. Okay, now we're going to adjust the vacuum brake. And to do that is we're going to apply 19 inches of vacuum onto the vacuum brake here, or pull off. So let's pump it up to 19. Okay, pulls it in. See if I can hold it in any more. No, actually that pulls it in all the way. So probably you could just hold it in all the way. If you don't have a vacuum tester, although you should have one. Alright, step number 2 is place the fast idle screw on the second step over here. second step of the fast idle cam. Right there. Okay, close your valve until it stops, don't force it. And you're going to measure the distance from the tower wall over to the choke valve. Okay, and in my case it should be 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so you would measure that distance. It's pretty darn close. And then to change it, you would adjust this right here. You would bend this out or squeeze it in, either way, depending on which way you have to go. Okay, so that's the vacuum vacuum brake adjustment. We'll put the hose back on here. And the next one would be the unloader. Turn it around. Okay, so on the unloader, hold the throttle towards, hold the throttle all the way open. Hold the choke closed. Okay, just like that. And again, measure this distance, this opening here. And on mine, the opening should be a 1/4 inch. Could be different on yours, 1/4 inch. To adjust, you bend this right here, up or down. Okay, so that's it. So again, wide open. Close your choke valve till this touches. Measure the distance. If you need to adjust it, bend this arm right here up or down a little bit. Doesn't take much. Alright, so last adjustment will be on the choke itself. So we'll turn this on. Now it talks about index marks and stuff. I wouldn't use that because so many of these chokes are now what is it I want to say? They are retrofits. Well, where does that screw go? Okay, doesn't go there. Okay, I'm going to put a screw in here just to hold it. First of all, make sure your little tab here is on this side, because that's how it's going to close it. This particular carburetor twists to the right to close it. Okay, now there's your index mark. I don't use that. The reason is carburetors are very old, they're worn, and setting them to the index mark and all that, you know, that's assuming the carburetor's in perfect condition. And like I said, the thermostats are retrofit, so the index mark always does not pertain. I have a feeling this one's an OE, but no big deal. Okay, I'll just put one screw in there to hold it. So what you want to do is twist this clockwise until the choke valve closes. And then you give another 1/8 inch turn, just to give it a little bit of, takes a little bit of pressure to open it. And that's where you leave it. Okay, that's it. And that's for the choke. The only other adjustment would be like, let's see. We got fast idle adjustment, but that's going to be on the car. Check your spec sheet on how to do that. Oh, we do have the bowl vent adjustment. That's also on the car. But I'm going to show you how to do this. I'll just step through it. First of all, we took this off. Okay. And I'm going to place the fast idle screw on the high step of the fast idle cam. And the bowl vent valve should be closed. So let's put this on the fast idle, which it is on right now. And the valve, which is right down here, the little rubber piece we put in early on, that's closed. Okay, so we're good so far. Alright, so move the fast idle screw to the second lowest step of fast idle cam. And the vent should just start to open. So let me turn this so just a little bit. And I think it should be opened a little more. It doesn't seem like it's hardly opening to me. And so let's see. should just start to open. And to adjust it, we bend this lever right here. This one right here. Okay, that's it. You do that while it's on the car. Put your top back on with the 3 screws and you're ready to go, and you got yourself a rebuilt carburetor. Thank you for watching. You can buy parts from this at mikescarb.com. It's MIKESCARB.com. Thanks again.